I'm not even sure how to name this thing. Should I be interesting map that you can play alone? Should I name it? Well, I'm bored. I should do something better with my life than play video games or whatever. But I want to show you today something different. Excuse me, my voice kind of destroyed now lately. So this is a map of Northwood, and you already might have seen something with like the icons here, this weird face, these things here, and I'm gonna tell you why these things are weird. Because this is a custom-made map. Get here, boy. This is a custom-made map for Warcraft 3, of course, and it has a team in it. If you choose to play as the undead, you will get the Dark Iron Dwarves. And you might think, nobody likes them. Nobody liked them before they joined the Council of Three Hammers, but that's a different story. We're not getting into lore. So there are 4 heroes that you can make. Unfortunately, I could only make like 3 of them, and I'm gonna show them to you. We have a sorcerer, a sharpshooter, and a technician. There's also a rogue. Now, the technician has war cannon, which basically lets him attack using some sort of gun type. Deploy shield, which is kind of like a ward. He has this mutant aura, which gives more mana attack. And war engine, transform the technician into a low range heavy armor tank. But to see that, you'll have to play yourself. Also, the sharpshooter has concussion shot, precision, which gives him more attack, more speed attack, or attack speed. Lock and loaded. This kind of increases its range, interesting. And headshot. The sharpshooter takes aim at a single target. After 4 seconds, he shoots a well-placed shot that deals 800 damage. Well, now the sorcerer has shadow burn, which is it says 80 strike damage, 25 duration damage. Darkness. The sorcerer calls upon his powers to destroy and restore. So this means you can either heal or do damage. Shade shift. Long distance teleportation that allows the sorcerer to move into and out of combat when teleportation will spawn seed to see the nearby area. And soul strip. The sorcerer casts a mighty dark element on the field. The elemental spins in frenzy, dealing 75 damage per second while reducing nearby enemy movement speed by 50%. Okay. Now, besides the sorcerer, sharpshooter, and technician, there's also the rogue. The game didn't let me make the rogue as well. But let's start with the miner. First buildings first. Here we have a Bastilia. Now, this is kind of a version of the castle. Before they have Bastilia, there are dungeon, which is a version of the keep. And before they are dungeons, they are what are called again safe holds. And this guy can make them. Also, then we have a trooper quarry, of course. In the trooper quarry, you can make scouts. No other way. You can make scouts, skull crusher, or skulker. I don't know why it's skull crusher, and the sniper. They have also upgrades. For example, steady aim increases the sniper's attack range by 200. Or snipe allows the sniper to use the snipe ability, which allows the sniper to go invisible and deal powerful shot. They also have a poison bomb, allows the skulker to use poison bomb, which throws a bomb that deals damage per second and slows enemy units. Fleet allows the scout to use fleet, which increases the movement speed for a short duration of time. And true sight allows the scout to see invisible units. Okay, so I gotta present these guys as well. This is how they look. He is a scout. He has axes, I'm not sure why, but it looks amazing. The Skulker is kind of a redrawn model of the Mountain King, but made to be less heroic. He only has one axe, not a hammer. And the Sniper is basically your old rifleman, but made better. Also, another note. I'm recording this on Fraps. Woohoo. Next, where are you? Next, you can build a forge which is the equivalent of a blacksmith. There you can upgrade the dark iron axes, dark arsenal, dark chainmail, dark armor, which basically does whatever you think it does. The ingenious stone increases hit points of dark iron buildings by a total of 30%. And fire ammunition upgrades the weapon of the battle spire to attack with fire, dealing damage over time. This is the battle spire. This, if upgraded with fire ammunition, this can do a lot of damage. Also, you might wonder, what's this? Well, above the set rally point, this is interconnected. It says links 4 buildings together in a chain. All buildings with this on them will live longer by distributing 30% of the damage they take across other linked units. For example, I can be like this. So now these two are linked together. If I do this, these are linked together. And you know how Spirit Link works with the torrent thing, so it doesn't matter. Now, since I got rid of the Trooper Core, it's time to move on to the next building, which is the Battle Spire. But I can't talk what it was. It's like the it's like the guard tower. Next we have Hostel. A hostel is a home, but has an interesting ability. It has Call of Fire. Destroy the hostel in order to create fire spawn. Lasts 16 seconds. Here is the demonstration. Now, as you know, the Dark Iron Dwarves has something to do with Ragnaros, the Lord of Fire, and whatnot, in the War of the Three Hammers, and things like those. It's interesting to see that they can do this, Call of Fire. It gives some sort of, well, kind of defense. Like, you can just do this to all of your buildings. Sure, you lose them all, but you somehow manage to like make another defense. Also, you might think, what's the siege tank? These are resource cards, and as you can see, they are means to an end. They are to make gathering lumber, gathering lumber or gold more efficient. This is gonna run out soon, so it doesn't matter. Now, where are you, little dwarf? Okay. The next one is the Altar of Solitude, which is a fitting name for the Dark Iron Dwarves, which makes these three heroes and another one. Next we have the Dwelling. And the Dwelling produces 3 units: the Tactician, the Shadowmancer, and the Pyromage. You can read what they are here. I'm not gonna really do that. Not. Now they also have upgrades like Surprise Attack, allows the Tactician to use Surprise Attack, and grants a measure increase to attack damage for a short time to nearby friendly units. This is the Tactician, this is the Shadowmancer, which kind of has this bugged icon thing, and this is the Pyromage, Magi, or whatever. Now, he has Set Fire Trap, which sets a fire trap set in an area that is invisible and will activate to cause a fire explosion. And this Corrosion Ward summons a ward of corrosion. The ward lowers nearby enemies' armor and deals damage to mechanical units. This is the kind of unit that, as you can see, it has siege attack, but it's the kind of unit that you want in the battlefield if you are more strategic. For example, you make a few of these set fire traps and you're set. If you come out to fight some mechanical units yourself, you're gonna have to use the concussion. Interesting, right? The next one was the Shadowmancer, which has Shadowmancer the training. The model looks good, I have to agree, but I have problems with one thing. This thing is kind of bugged here, but and the rest it works. 69 damage. He has Shadow Fusion. The Shadowmancer inflicts different effects to a single enemy or friendly unit. He restores 100 hit points if that disappeared. If you're friendly, if you're an enemy, he deals 100 damage. Conflux. The Shadowmancer inflicts different effects to single enemy or friendly unit. Gain an anti-magic shield that takes up to 300 magic damage, or enemies have reduced attack damage by 15% and armor by 2, which lasts 1 minute. We also have Aversion. The Shadow Master causes different effects to enemies and different friendly units. Allies gain increased mana regeneration by 5 and health regeneration by 4, or and enemies gain reduced mana regeneration by 5 and health regeneration by 4. So Aversion is interesting. It has a lot of potential, as you can see, because this will turn things awful, to be honest. It will turn them very, very awful for your enemies. I mean, you're losing regeneration, for crying out loud. And next, we have Pyromage Adept Training. Honestly, the model looks amazing. Okay, the model looks amazing if you want to make like a dwarf paladin, because it really is amazing. I saw this used on, I think it was a dwarf campaign, but really, this Pyromage might be a strong unit, but really, I don't like the model, to be honest. But let's see how it works. He has Burn Magic, consumes all magic buffs from units in an area. Each buff that is taken of magic gives the Pyromage 50 mana. It's just a replenishment of mana, basically, for him. Interesting, right? He has Circle of Fire. Pyromage Adept Training. The Pyromage sends a flurry of fire, damaging nearby enemies. Each bolt does 50 damage up to 5 units. Kind of the shockwave here. Ignite. Excuse my clapping there. Activate Ignite to flood this unit in flames, causing 10 damage per second to nearby enemy land units in large area. Drains mana until deactivated. Okay, so this works sort of like a flamethrower or blizzard, where the caster needs to be, kind of has to do this. But this one drains mana until deactivated. So this can, if you have something to replenish mana, you're good to go. And we have Ritual, which is maximum is kind of open. All attacks deal 3 times normal damage on attack and send a third chance to evade attacks. So this unit is the motherfucking boss. Even though I don't like the model. You can go in disguise. Now, after the dwelling, we have the Atelier. Or, oh my god, I'm butchering this name. Anyway. We have a battle suit made in the Atelier, a Dominator, and a War Tank. So let's look at the models a little bit. The battle suit, the voice isn't real. The voice is that one in the Mortar team, but it's not really that nice. Oh, the battle suit is just a golem, so nice work there. The Dominator. Now you see, the Dominator could have been many things, but I like what they did with it. I'm not sure that Dark Iron Doors have Dominators or whatever, but this one is interesting. I mean, it looks good. And the War Tank, which is just a glorified siege tank. So let's look at upgrades. We have Titanium Plates. Increase the battlesuit hit points by 250. But also, the battlesuit has a thing called Impenetrable. Oh, I should be here. It has a battlesuit armor, giving it 50% chance to restore 25 hit points upon being attacked. Only activate at 200 hit points or less. Basically, if you're lucky, they can last a little bit longer until you can do something with them. Okay. Or you can just simply have someone heal them. The Dominator has 2 upgrades. He has Anti-Air Rounds. Allows the Dominator to greatly slow enemy air units upon attacking them, which means this thing can become real deadly in an aerial fight. He also has Flyby. Sounds kind of fun and think about concepts. Allows the Dominators to drop down bombs upon enemy units around it, dealing damage. It is the gyrocopter, but it looks much nicer and yeah, makes sense. And for our War Tank here, which basically is a siege tank, we have Bombardment Mode. Allows a War Tank to become a long-range artillery weapon, effective against both air and structures. This can attack also air units and structures as well. Now, after this we have the Pyro Obelisk, which creates this amazing unit, the Incinerator, who has piercing and magic damage. Now, unfortunately, he only has one ability, but that's good. Charring Flesh allows the Incinerator to use Charring Flesh, which spawns a fire spawn from the corpse of a killed enemy. So this can summon fire spawns. I mean, it's a Dark Iron Dwarf, of course you focus on fire. And last upon the miner is the Strongbox, which has Health Solution, which... Oh, most of these are normal, like the Elixir of... Like, they're normal. But they kind of get different names, like Potion of Enmity. It makes the hero vulnerable to damage for 5 seconds when used. Then can activate it again after 3 seconds. Okay, so this sort of is Potion of Invulnerability. Scroll Defense, increase the armor. Elixir of Hatred, adds bonus. They made their own special orb, like Orb of Hate. Yeah, we got this Orb of Hate that can also silence units. Great Skull of Keeping, regain the hit points of all friendly non-mechanical units in area around you. So, you know, they're not really that different. But that is for now. I hope you enjoyed it, and similar note, I'm recording in Fraps. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you tune on next time.